Hi guys, Piotr here, this is Liteforex Global YouTube channel. Weekend. It's time to prepare ourselves for the upcoming week. End of the quarter, end of the month flow will dominate on the market. And that's what we have to remember about. Then towards the end of the week, right, we are going to get another day of the non-farm payrolls because of the first Friday of the new month. We are going to discuss that in a second. So, as usual, when we are preparing ourselves for the upcoming week, we are going to discuss euro-dollar, we are going to discuss oil and gold. Starting with euro-dollar, another week of the stronger dollar, right? Break and close through the breakout candles. Previous week, 4 weeks ago. So each and every week something interesting is going on with the new breakouts on the euro dollar. We hit the first possible target we discussed around 1750 on the euro dollar. All right, so what next? What we might see based on this weekly chart? Well, in that case we have to remember what has happened 3 weeks ago, right? At the mid of the March, we've seen the rally, we've seen the rejection. So in that case, based on the weekly chart, I'm going to move the line, right, because that's the new supply, the bottom of that line. So the first supply is around 1830, the low from that particular week, right? Also, we can create some kind of the zone. Why? Because there was a chance of finishing the business based on the possible swing low over here, right? Swing low over here. So we have a zone in between 1811, 1830 as the first possible supply for the upcoming week. The next possible supply is of course level related to the last week open. In that case we are talking about the levels close to 1880, right? So another wave of the possible supply. All right, what about the demand? Well, let's place another line lower. In that case, from the weekly chart perspective, looks like we might want to finish the business even down towards 1645. Well, if you do remember, we were discussing previous week that 1680 might be another below 1750. In that case, finishing the business 1645, 1650 could be the target. Also, I would expect some kind of the demand in between 1645 and lower levels down here where there was just the stop hunt, right, down towards 1610. So that's the demand, that's the zone of the demand. First supply, second supply based on the weekly chart. Let's have a look what we have from the daily chart perspective. Attempt to rally on Friday, but I can't see anything higher, at least for now, right, than 1845, 1850 we were discussing from the daily chart perspective, plus weekly open. So plenty of supply each and every 20-30 pips from 1810 up to 1830, 1845, finally 1880. And if we would see the bigger spike, this consolidation, mid of that towards 1940, 1950 eventually. That's how I see the things related to the euro dollar. When it comes to the calendar, upcoming calendar, Monday is not gonna be that busy. On Tuesday we do have a preliminary CPI out of the Germany and Spain. Then during the New York session we have some Fed members. We have also the US consumer confidence. On Wednesday we are going to get some European data with the overall EU CPI flash estimate, core CPI flash estimate as well, and during the US hours Chicago PMI and pending home sales. Of course, we are going to discuss oil in a second, so don't forget, on Wednesday we do have crude oil inventories. Thursday, PMI day worldwide, so that's the last trading day in Europe, then the big Friday, and pre-Easter time we have the bank holiday in Switzerland, we have a German bank holiday, UK bank holiday, Canadian bank holiday, and only the New York market is going to work, and we do have non-farm payroll, so the big day for the dollar towards the end of the next week. All right, let's switch to crude. After the initial sell-off, all right, we were able, or bulls were able to get back higher, and the thing very important that a market got back above psychological 60 level. Still think we might see lower levels, especially if we are looking for the latest weakness here around 50, between 53 and 50, right? That's what I think we might see, but we were reacting here based on this demand. So again, it could be attempt to create swing low over here. So at the very beginning of the week we might see attempt to go higher. Now how high can we go? Well, 63 level, that could be the challenge, but if market is going to close above 63, this swing high here could be in place. So basically we are talking about the possible shorts previous week around 60 being stopped out, but in that case the low around 59 could work, or right below 59 could work as a swing low, attempt to create the swing low right over here and move higher. On the other hand, here we go, we have swing high, so watch out for that range, make the measure of that range, because if we are going to break that range, that's gonna give you the possible target. If we are going to break that range to the downside, right, we might hit the levels we discussed, 50. If we are going to break to the upside, that's going to be completely different story, because we are going to move above 70. So that's how the things looks like on the oil from the weekly chart perspective. Let's have a look what we have on a daily. Well, that was attempt to rally, but there is something for some of you here looking for some kind of the head and shoulder pattern, 63.50, 63.60. That could be the supply on a daily chart, and if you are going to break that to the downside, the 50 is a target as we speak, as we discussed a second ago, based on the range from the daily, from the weekly chart. And finally, gold. There we go. We are still below 1745, 1750. Still think we might see lower levels down towards 1615. So this low 1680 could be, you know, stop count, then the full measure of the 70. So if we are going to break down the 1615, 16 level could be the target. Only move above 1745, 1775 could produce the bigger rally based on that range. So it would be around $100 higher towards 1850, 1865 when it comes to the gold. Bearish on gold, watching the range on the oil, and bearish on euro dollar, or on the other hand bullish on the dollar overall. So that's how I see the end of the quarter, end of the month, and beginning of the second quarter, beginning of the new month. Guys, don't be trapped. It was my pleasure to prepare this update for you. All the best. See you around. Take care and goodbye.